Hey there, everyone. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Matt.
You're listening to Pillow Talk on Hatch Plus, so cozy up, put away your phone, and join our nightly slumber party where we always get to bed right on time.
So, Kristen, what's up? How's things?
You know what? I am feeling like a proud auntie. I'm feeling really good because I just spent the last few days celebrating my nephew's graduation from high school. And, you know, I was in the room when he was born, and now he's tall and smart and accomplished, and he did his best in school, and he's launching out into the world into this next phase. And I'm just so proud of him. To me, he'll always be my little baby nephew, but to the world, he's now a man embarking on this next point in life. So I'm just bursting with love and pride for him right now. It's a really great feeling to have. But Matt, what about you? How are you feeling right now? What's got you feeling good?
That was really, really sweet. I really enjoyed that. I wish this had more gravitas compared to a nephew getting through university, but it's almost as good. I have actually been eating a lot of out-of-date sushi and am yet to experience any health complications, which is pretty huge. I found an app that basically you can get food that's kind of on the turn, but for cheap. So as a comedian driving up and down the country, I've been stopping at motorway services, and there might be a sushi counter there, and it sort of goes out of date the next day, so you can buy it for like £2. And I've been living off technically out of date sushi, but it's been fine. And it's honestly, it's been one of the greatest achievements of my life personally. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
I consider that an outstanding achievement. I would go around announcing that everywhere I go, just walk into a room and say, I have been eating out of date sushi and I am thriving.
Yeah, I mean, maybe tell your nephew what success looks like.
Yes. It shows real ingenuity. It shows thriftiness. It shows how smart you are in this world. You're not falling for that full price sushi. You're braver than that. You're a brave, thrifty man. And look at how far you've come because of that.
I think that's exactly it. Yeah, it's extremely courageous and should be recognized.
Oh, I think so. I wish I could knight you right now. If I had the ability, I would take the sword and set it on your shoulder and give you a title right now.
I will hold you to that.
Master of Sushi. Master of Thrifty Sushi. That is your new title.
I like that. Oh, yeah, it's got a ring to it.
Matt, I am thinking it would be fun for us to continue this jolly mood we're in with maybe a little game night. How does that sound?
That sounds like fun. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I think we should play a game called Two Truths and a Lie. It's an old classic. I'll go first and tell you my 3 quote-unquote facts about myself, and you can ask up to 3 questions to try to suss out which of these 3 so-called facts is actually a lie. How's that sound?
I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, so here are my 3 facts. Fact 1, I once hugged Dolly Parton in a bathroom. Fact 2, I won the blue ribbon for my chocolate chip cookies at the New York State Fair. And fact 3, I wrote an Amish romance novel called Return to Intercourse. Okay, Matt, what do you need to know? What questions do you have for me? Do you need me to repeat those facts?
I might do at some point. I'll work my way through.
Okay.
All of them seem strangely plausible. And I think we've spoken before about your cookie making ability. So I can believe that straight off the bat. I fully believe that one.
Okay.
Dolly Parton in a bathroom. Where was this bathroom?
This bathroom was at a radio station I was working at, and she was a guest at the radio station.
Okay, and were you, I'm assuming this is at the sinks rather than in cubicle?
We were not actually, we were not actually sitting at the toilet and hugging at the time. No, it was outside the cubicle. Yes.
Okay, so we're outside cubicle. I think, I'm going to go, I can't get this Amish novel out of my head. I'm just going to flick back to that one quickly.
Okay.
What did you say the title was again? Because you stumbled on that, which made me think
Yes.
there might be something in that.
I only stumbled because I was momentarily afraid that it might sound a little too racy for our listeners. The title of the book was Return to Intercourse. And for those who are not familiar with Pennsylvania Amish country in the U.S., Intercourse is the name of a town in Amish country. Other notable towns in Amish country include Blue Balls, Bird in Hand, and Mount Joy, but Intercourse is one of the most famous.
That sounds perfectly plausible. All of those facts. Does the novel, though? What was the general... Give me a real top-down overview of a plot line.
All right, so this Amish romance novel centers on a young woman named Sarah Yoder, who, while embarking on her Rumspringa romance with a NASCAR driver, gets called back home after a tragic barn raising accident to help her family. And so she must part from her aspiring NASCAR driver to help on the family farm. But while there, a farmhand catches her eye, and she must decide, does she want a slower pace of life or the abandon of life with Chase Tanner, aspiring race car driver?
Chase Tanner, the race car driver.
Correct.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that sounds... Again, that sounds like it could be... I tell you what, I've got a Dolly Parton related question. Sorry to flip between the different...
Oh, no. It's totally fine. Totally fine.
Was Dolly Parton complicit in this hug? Like, how did it come about? Did you say, could I hug you? Or was there some sort of... Had you both just had a big gambling win? Was there a moment that you had to embrace because of that?
I think I may have accidentally ambushed her because I was so excited. And I'm sure Dolly Parton is used to being ambushed everywhere with hugs. But in retrospect, I don't know if that was the best way to hug her. I just was so excited. And I think I probably screamed at the top of my lungs 800 times, I love you, Dolly Parton. I love you, Dolly Parton. I love you, Dolly Parton. And she was very gracious about it. But I'm sure she did not want to be hugged in the bathroom by me or anybody else.
I do. She seems like a lovely person, Dolly Parton. I'm sure she was fine with it.
She was so lovely. She was so sweet. She just, she was fantastically warm and kind and gracious and modest, and also very, very tiny. She must have weighed about 80 pounds. Very tiny.
So did you lift her? Was this like a Dirty Dancing moment in the toilets?
Can you imagine?
Did you get a
me lifting Dolly Parton? Wow, that would be a story. Yeah. Alas, it was just hugging in the bathroom.
Right. Okay. So based on this, I'm ruling out the cookies as a lie because I know that you're good at making cookies, so I can believe that. I can definitely believe that is how you would react around Dolly Parton. So that's just a question of whether you actually saw her or not. I believe everything else. I think the lie is the Amish novel.
What makes you think that's a lie?
Do you know what? I don't necessarily think it is a lie. I just think the other two, I'm so on board with them.
Okay. All right.
So it must be that one.
Okay. Fair. Very fair. I'm going to tell you something though, Matt. The lie is winning a blue ribbon for my chocolate chip cookies at the New York State Fair.
That was the only one that I was 100% sure on. I should have. That's a lesson for future games. I should have focused more on that. I was too complacent.
No. I will tell you, my cookie specialty is the oatmeal raisin cookie, my Nana's recipe. That is my specialty, not chocolate chip cookies. And I did not ever win a ribbon for my Nana's cookies because I have not entered them in a contest. I'm sure the cookies would win because it's my Nana's recipe, but in this case, cookies were not part of the winning equation here. That was the lie.
unbelievable. Well, you did a very good job.
Oh, I I
You're a
am.
very good liar.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. I should be a politician, huh? But Matt, I want you to challenge me now to two truths and a lie.
Okay, so my two truths and a lie are I was once assaulted by lead singer of the Police, Sting. Number two, I stole some sandwiches off the Prime Minister. And number three, I played table tennis for my county.
Okay. So you were assaulted by Sting. You
Yeah.
stole sandwiches from the prime minister
Mm-hmm.
and you played table tennis for your county? Like you were
Yes.
representing your whole county, like in a regional championship?
Correct. Yeah, in a countrywide championship.
Oh, the whole country?
The
Oh my
whole
gosh.
country.
Okay, that's a pretty big deal. The whole country.
The whole country. Yeah. I don't mean to boast, but
Wow. Okay. The whole country. That seems like a pretty big deal to be representing your county in a nationwide championship. That seems like a pretty big deal. But okay, let's go back to the other two. What were the circumstances when Sting assaulted you?
so as an assault, I don't think it'd hold up in court. However, I was at a television studio and Sting was also there doing Top of the Pops. I was stood behind a swing door and he swung the door open and hit me in the face with it. And he did apologise. But that was the extent of it. But I still count that.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely assault. And
Yeah, intentional or not.
intentional or not, you should have received a settlement of $1 million from him and maybe a ballad as well.
Yeah, yes,
A song all about you, a very loving song about you. Yeah.
thank you. He might have been thinking of me every time he's sung Every Breath You Take from that we don't know. He might have been.
It was about you. You weren't even born when he wrote that song, but he knew in his heart he was going to someday encounter you and he needed to have that song ready.
Yeah, he knew one day he would hit me in the face with a door. He knew. It's premeditated, actually.
All right, let's get to the prime minister. I have a scenario in my head where you could totally be stealing sandwiches from the prime minister, but I want to hear what your scenario is.
So, before I was a comedian, I was a cameraman, and the Prime Minister was doing a talk at a local business event, which we had to film. It was David Cameron at the time, the Prime Minister. So we turned up really, really early. And obviously the Prime Minister, he's a busy man. So he turned up a little bit late. And I was getting a bit narky because we'd not eaten all day. And we went into this room to film him. And in that room, he had a tray of sandwiches for him and his aides and people like that. But I noticed they weren't really touching them at the time. So I took the tray and just put it underneath the table and under a tablecloth.
The whole tray?
The whole tray. And I thought that will be a little bit of payback for you being late. I've been here all morning. And I thought that will sort lunch out, save me getting something on the way home, you know.
Okay, that is bold, the whole tray. You didn't just try to sneak one sandwich and slide it into your pocket. You tried to get the whole tray.
The problem that I had was I didn't really have a receptacle to put a sandwich in. So I thought it's either got to be all or nothing, because one sandwich is very difficult to hide in a hygienic way.
Okay, I think I have an idea of your lie here. Okay, your stories about the sandwiches with the prime minister and being assaulted by Sting have convinced me thoroughly that those must be true. But the table tennis championship, the whole country? I mean, that's a nationwide championship.
Bear in mind, it's less impressive than the US because there's only about 5 people in the UK that play table tennis.
It's still a nationwide championship. That's a huge deal. Nationwide. So I'm going to say that the table tennis is the lie and that you did indeed steal sandwiches from Prime Minister Cameron and you did indeed get assaulted by Sting. That is my decision. Am I wrong?
Well, you are absolutely right. Yeah, nailed it. I
Yay!
did
Oh
play
my
table tennis,
gosh.
but I played for a team for about 10 years, but never made it past past very, very regional.
Well, I am impressed that you played for so many years. I've played table tennis maybe 3 times in my whole life because I'm so bad at it. And then I descend into playing Uno instead because it's much more my speed.
I do like Uno, yeah, there's a lot to be said. Have you ever been county champion at Uno, though?
Absolutely not. I think my cousins beat me every time when we played growing up, but it was always fun and it was not hard to do. Something you can do while, just yapping and making fun of each other, telling jokes, being cousins and so on. Yeah.
Not too dissimilar from what we do of an evening here.
Yes, right here in the Hatch Pillow Fort. Shall we move on to another game, Matt?
What did you have in mind, Kristen?
I was thinking, would you rather? That's a game I used to love playing with my cousins.
Yeah, it's a classic, yeah.
Let's think of one here.
I've got a scenario for you.
Okay.
Would you rather be a guest at the White Lotus or the only sober person on a Real Housewives cast trip?
Oof. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a tough one.
so the White Lotus, everybody is going to be mean to each other, but there's always going to be a good beach or swimming pool and probably some fantastic, elegant rooms to stay in. Although I might get murdered too. There's that issue.
There is that, which would put a dampener on it for me slightly, I reckon.
Yeah. Real Housewives, I don't think anyone's going to get murdered, but I do think there are going to be attempts to destroy my psychological health. There are going to be attempts to bring me down not just a notch, but just cut me off at the legs and make me feel bad for being alive. So,
True, but you're sober and you're sharp.
oh, that's true. That's true.
You can get them.
I could kind of go into the Real Housewives trip being more of like an anthropologist. Just let me observe these people in the wild. Let me watch them in their natural habitat.
Yes.
So if I went in that way, it might be enjoyable. You know what? I'm going to go with the White Lotus. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stay in that really high-end 5-star hotel that I would never be able to afford in real life. I'm going to enjoy the elegance, the food. Yes, I might get murdered, but maybe instead I'll just watch someone else get murdered. And that might be fascinating.
That's so true. Yeah, that's
something.
You never think about that, do you? You could just be the one watching it.
Yeah.
In which case you're just having a lovely holiday.
Yes. And then I get to leave on a private jet at the end of everything, right? Or maybe I get to hang out with Jennifer Coolidge, which also sounds great. So I'm going with the White Lotus. But
I respect that.
But Matt, what about you? What are you going to choose? The White Lotus or the Real Housewives cast trip?
I think I would have been erring towards the White Lotus. However, if we both did that, the chances of us both surviving are slim.
Oh, yeah. It's a numbers game.
There's got to be something for the telly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then also the Real Housewives trip. I mean, it's my scenario, isn't it? So for the sake of this, I could say that cast trip is 45 minutes. We're going to a small museum. Should be round it in half an hour, 5 minutes in the gift shop. I think I could deal with that for sure.
What kind of museum are the Real Housewives going to be going to?
In this situation, I like to think they don't get a say. I think that I'm planning it. So I would take them just like a little brewery, I reckon.
You know what I was thinking? Have you been to the Scotch tour in Edinburgh where you ride around in the barrels on the track?
I haven't specifically done that one, but I have done a whiskey tasting in Edinburgh. But that sounds great in a barrel.
Yeah, you ride around in a barrel and you can push the buttons so that the interpreter gives you the tour in one of, I think, 6 different languages. And then you're just on this track where along the way they give you samples of whiskey to drink. And then you ride around in the barrel and watch these mannequins sort of act out how whiskey is made. I could see that maybe being fun with the Real Housewives, actually. That might be actually a good time.
That's, yeah, nailed on then. I'm doing that. I'm going on a barrel tour with the Real Housewives, having a few drinks of whiskey, and you can text me how you're getting on at the murder hotel.
If I'm still alive, yeah.
Yeah, that suits me perfectly.
Well, Matt, I am getting pretty sleepy after those fantastic games, and I think I gotta turn in now.
Yeah, me too. But I'll talk to you next time.
Yes. Talk to you soon, Matt. Have a great night.
Night, Kristen.